two single entries in our Charolais show, and a difference in weight as well. So we'll go ahead and start talking him. The white steer here, one that just gives you that flashy show steer eye appeal whenever we get him stopped. Love the natural shape and dimension he has. He does want to get a little flatter in that forerib. I would like to change him there. Want to soften him up on the ground, or likes him there in the skeleton out of that shoulder as well. One that just gives you that really fun package show steer look. The young man's gold steer here, the longer, more extended made type of a steer. One, when you get your hands on him, he's got more cover, a little more market ready compared to our white steer in front. We just need to balance him out a little bit more. We'd like to drop that flank, give him just a little bit more shape to that rib as well. But two really nice entries. We'll use the young man's white one for champion, and the gold one will be reserved. Congrats, guys.
Jackson Nickel has our champion, and July Ferris has our reserve. We need Creighton Carpenter to bring us key steer. Your champion sponsors donated by Randy Cole.
Just a single entry in the key show here, but one that really could have had some competition out here. This calf, you really love the frame size on him, and just a natural base width, and just how much shape and dimension this guy has to him. Maybe if we want to change a few things on him, maybe drop him there on his flank, but I think that'll be a really nice calf to get clipped out for this young man who's on the road at OIE. Congratulations.
Your champion key goes to Creighton Carpenter. We need Quade McIntyre as her steer coming next. It's sponsored by Red Dirt Record Service.
Another single entry for a breed out here, a Hereford calf this young man's brought to us. One that he's a little lighter on weight compared to some of the others, but you know, market weight comes in all shapes and sizes, and when you get your hands on this guy, he is ready to roll. Love the smoothness of the package that he puts it all together. Very traditional Hereford, maybe not as powered up when we get on top of him and out that hind quarter, but one that has a lot of functionality and flexibility. But congratulations to this young man.
Quade McIntyre has our champion Hereford. We need Jagger Werman to come to the ring with his limousine. And it is sponsored by Omni Communications.
another single entry steer, but one that has just so much flexibility and functionality, and that's what just really stands out with me on this calf. He's a little deceiving, and these black ones at times you wonder how big-backed and big-hipped he is, and you get behind this guy, and he's a stud. Like I said, maybe if we want to change this dude up a little bit, soften him up there as well in that flank, but they've got 30 more days, and that's normally when that flank drops. I just want to give this young man kudos. This calf's hair coat is fresh, and it is clean, and he looks very highly presented. You can tell the young man's done a great job at home managing this calf, and congratulations to him, and good luck down the road.
Your champion limousine does a Jagger Werman, and we need Cason Smart with his mane, and it is sponsored by Ferris Cattle Company.
Single entry in our main show, but probably the biggest bone stoutest featured steer we've seen so far in the lineup today. One that's really stout and tons of natural dimension and shape. He's got some age on him probably compared to some of these other calves that we've seen. Not as fresh in that head and chest floor, but one that you can tell probably once he gets to the city he'll clip out and have a really, really good look about him. The young man's done a great job. Congratulations.
Your champion name is Cason Smart. We need Ella Holly with her short horn. Champion short horn is sponsored by Everett's Welding.
Another single entry for our shorthorn, but probably the smoothest guy we've seen all day. Love the added extension in that front 130 he has, and just how smooth and square he rounds out of that hip. Appreciate the flexibility up the ground. Probably not just the stoutest featured guy we've seen, but whenever we get one put together that smooth, that's normally something we give up. But the young lady has done a fantastic job getting him presented. Congratulations.
Ella Holly has a champion short horn. We need White McIntyre for the semi, and it's sponsored by Northwest Bearing.
single entry in our Simmental division of KEF. That's you really appreciate the back and the muscle shape and that this guy's got, the long and extended he is. But where we'd probably need to change him is when we get him out on the move. He wants to get pretty vertical out of that shoulder and just doesn't want to relax and take a big stride off those hind wheels. But the young man's done a fantastic job. You can tell the Daily care in getting this guy presented today. Congratulations.
White McIntyre has her champion Simmental. We need Kaylee Noss with her cross steer. And it is sponsored by Gore's Travel Plaza.
Only steer here in our crossbred, and one that I find pretty interesting. He's got a lot of pieces I really, really like. Love the bone and joint structure that this guy's got. Love just how square and fresh he is as well. He's a little immature when you get your hands on him. You can tell by looking at him as well. She said he can be a little waspy, so that could have some doings on how he's fed, but I think the next 30 days could do a whole lot of good if this young lady takes him home and just pours it to him, because this calf has a lot of unique features. He's just not ready today at a market standpoint when you get your hands on him, but the young lady's done a fantastic job of getting him presented. Congratulations.
Kaylee Noss has her champion cross. We will bring everything in for Grand Drive. We need Maddie McLean with her champion Angus. We need Jackson Nichols with his champion Charlet. Creighton Carpenter with his Key. Quade McIntyre with his Hereford. Jagger Werman with his Limousine. Kason Smart with his Maine. Ella Holly with her Shorthorn. Wyatt McIntyre with his Semi. And Kaylee Noss with her Cross. And our grand champion is sponsored by Richie Merrily Oaks. And our reserve champion is Provide Farms. I'm sorry.
give these market steer exhibitors a really big round of applause. You know, I talked in our heifer drive that functionality with me goes a long ways. It doesn't matter if you've got a market animal or a heifer. They've got to be built to withstand the time and to be able to feed and still have that freshness and look that we're looking for. You know, we are 30 days out till most of these calves' final show, so you always got to take that into consideration as well whenever you get out here and judge them this time of the year. But these kids have done a fantastic job, and it is hard to go find. We've raised enough of these show steers in our past and sold enough that it is hard to find good ones, ones that will make it to this stage of the game. You guys have done a good job. Functionality is really, really good in these calves, but I think there's 3 out here that sort themselves to the top for me. It'll be fun to hopefully run across them at OYE in the barns and see them clipped and see how you guys get along up there. But give these kids a big round of applause. Thank you all again for having me. It's been an absolute blast, and we will get out and get you trained in reserve, and we'll follow up with the sale order. But thank you guys, and congratulations.
Maddie McLean has her grand. It's the Angus. We need Casey Smart to bring his Angus in the ring. Your reserve man was Jagger Werman. Now we'll pick your bronze steer. Kaylee Noss has your bronze steer. Creighton Carpenter was 4th out. Ella Holly's next. The reserve Angus will be next. Casey Smart. The maintainer be 7th. Wyatt McIntyre will be next in the lineup. Quaid will be next, and Jackson. So we'll give you just a second. We'll start the showmanship. 3rd through 6th grade goes first. And it is sponsored by Larry and Greg Gilchrist families. So we'll start the showmanship when you're ready. 3rd through 6th grades. Come to the show ring and start coming in.
give these junior showmanship exhibitors a really big round of applause, please. This right here is the hardest thing to judge. I'm a mom of 2 young showmen. I've grown up in this still my whole life. Unfortunately, I probably loved it a little bit too much at times and let my schoolwork at times struggle, but it's what gets me up every day. And to see these young kids love it and live it and knowing that our industry is secure for another generation is so exciting. But showmanship is so personal, unfortunately. There's so many kids that do such a great job, but just some of the things that stick out that are going to kind of set these kids apart from the rest is probably ring spacing. I know we're in a really small ring, but when we were circling them, these kids were trying their hardest to get them as far out as they could. When the traffic stopped, everybody standing around, even if you didn't come out here and show, set that kef up. If you're waiting for those kefs ahead of you a couple of spots, set that kef up, because as a judge, if I happen to walk by your kef and it's all weird standing, that may be the only good look I get of that kef. You know, especially if your kef doesn't act very good, make sure that kef at all times when you are stopped is set up and presented awesome. It's just so important, especially when you get to OIE and you've got a really big class. These people want to try to keep up a decent pace, so it's so important. Other than that, I mean, it's just little simple things. You all look great. You've got your shirts tucked in. You have your official dress that looks fantastic. From there, some things that we need to look at is footwear. I know, like, you know, the rubber sole shoes are really big, and like showing your smaller animals. When we get in the cattle ring, let's have some leather-soled shoes on. It's a safety precaution too. They've just got a little bit more structure to, you know, keep those feet safe. Setting up, you guys have done great, and this happens at home. This doesn't happen in here. You got to set those calves up a couple of times a week. It doesn't have to be every day. I'm a mom of a 7 and 10-year-old. Those kids, you know, they're working with them every day, but sometimes we have other activities that come into play. Go walk those calves into place about 2 times, 3 to 4 days a week. Will not add but 5 minutes onto your day, and I promise you it will add so much value to your kid and calf when you get into those big rings. They're just going to be so automatic. I love giving advice to these kids just because I like watching them grow and see what they listen to and take home and change some things. Because showmanship, it doesn't matter who you are, what you paid for your calf, or how good your calf is. It's all about how good you are and how good you want it. So if I can leave you with anything, it's that. Congratulations, guys. We'll get out and get you a champion reserve, but give every one of these kids that showed up today to come back out a big round of applause.
Brittany is your champion showman. Quaid is a reserve showman. Your intermediate showman is sponsored by Dewey County Conservation District, and it is grades 7 through 9.
only 3 kids out here in our intermediate drive for showmanship, but I think 3 really high quality individuals, and just some things I really appreciate about all of them is how they're standing. If you're a younger kid ringside, look at how these kids are standing. They've got that arm out, they're stepped out in front of their animal, but not too far out, so they still have in full control. From where it kind of changes there and gets a little tougher on our decision, it's probably feet placement for me, and that's what's going to go ahead and sort the individual to the top out of this set. The young lady in the middle, you're going to be our champion today. The young man in the back will be reserved. Congratulations.
So Kaylee Moss is our champion, Brittany Carpenter's reserve. Your senior showmanship is sponsored by Vanderwerf Hereford, and it is 10 through 12.
Well, guys, this is the best lineup we've had all day, and I'm serious about this. There are truly, there's 4 or 5 kids out here that I would haul with us, and I would send my kids' best Kef into the ring with, and I mean that. These kids have done a fantastic job out here. I like their presence. You know, they walk in, they're confident without being too overconfident. They don't outshow their Kef. And what I mean by that is they're not out there sawing them in half. They're not just nervous Nelly out here. They're not too intense. That's one thing I can't stand is kids that are just so intense. It makes me uncomfortable looking at them because I can't look at their Kef because all I feel is they're, you know, how serious they are out there. We leave them out here long enough, wheels fall off a little bit, and that's what you kind of have to do when you've got kids of this quality and caliber at the end of a halter. It ends up being little bitty nitpick things, and I mean nitpick, and I know I'm going to upset a parent somewhere today that their kid got left standing, and I hate that because I've been that parent. Our kids are awesome, we need to support them. Unfortunately, I only get to pick 2 today. Just some things was the spacing, making sure that Kef was angled the right direction. That is one thing that made the very fine line decision between one of these kids winning and one of these kids not winning today. Making sure that Kef is lined up correctly to where that judge, anywhere they're in the ring, you're going to have that good look for that Kef. All these kids are wearing fantastic, outfits, their halters, all of that. They're standing correctly. Maybe little nitpick things, maybe a shirt tail, maybe untied. I mean, like, when we get to this level, you have to dissect it down to that, okay? Feet placement's been great. You guys have done a great job. Some of these Kefs have not been easy to handle. You guys have came back and fought through it, so kudos to that. But unfortunately, I can only get you a champion in reserve today, but do not let that upset you and leave and say, well, that Judge Jenna Kraft, man, she doesn't know what good is. No, I know what good is, and there is that good in here. Like I said, there was just little bitty fine details, and I'm going to go to those kids that didn't make that top 2 and tell them that fine detail that was the deciding factor because they deserve it, because they are that good. But give these kids a really big round of applause. You guys should be incredibly proud of them today, and I will go out and get you a champion in reserve.
Kelton Bell is your champion showman. Danny Nichols is your